Are you blood type 0? Then prepare to question everything you think you know about your origins. What if we told you that your blood could hide an age-old secret, a legacy of a forgotten past, perhaps even extraterrestrial? It doesn't matter what your blood type is, whether you're type 0 or not. Prepare to question everything you think you know about the origins of humanity. Imagine the veins of the ancient inhabitants of the Americas could pulse with the echoes of lost civilizations, of gods descended from the heavens, of an ancient connection to the stars. The mystery of the zero blood in America is an enigma that has fascinated and confused scholars for centuries. Why is this blood type so widespread among Native Americans? Is it perhaps the trace of contact with beings from other worlds, or the sign of a unique and special destiny? Get ready for an incredible journey between science and spirituality, history and legend, to discover a truth that could change your perception of the past forever. Don't miss a word of this story. Stay until the end and prepare to question everything you thought you knew. The blood of the ancients has a story to tell. But before continuing, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to stay updated. The wind, bearer of secrets and ancient melodies, blew across the peaks of the Himalayas, caressing the prayer flags that adorned the Ganden Monastery. The full moon, undisputed queen of the night sky, flooded the mountain landscape with silvery light, creating a magical atmosphere suspended in time. A group of pilgrims coming from Kenzo, 80 years old, carried with the grace of an ancient pine, his eyes shining with an inner light, was waiting for them in the monastery courtyard, sitting on a meditation cushion embroidered with sacred symbols. Around him, the air vibrated with a profound silence, interrupted only by the murmur of the wind among the prayer leaves and the distant roar of a waterfall whose crystalline water seemed to spring directly from the heart of the mountain. "Welcome, seekers of truth," Kenzo said with a radiant smile, his voice warm and enveloping like a mother's embrace. "May your thirst for knowledge be quenched by the waters of wisdom, and may your hearts be open to the light of compassion." The pilgrims bowed with deep respect, their hearts throbbing with emotion and gratitude. Kenzo, with a slow and measured gesture, invited them to sit in a circle around him, forming a human mandala under the celestial vault. "Tonight," the monk began, his voice ringing clear and powerful in the still air, "I will take you on a journey to uncover a mystery that has fascinated and confounded scholars around the world. The mystery of America's type 0 blood." A wave of curiosity and amazement ran through the group. Some had heard of this enigma before, others were completely unaware. Kenzo, with the patience of a Zen master, explained how scientists had discovered that almost all Native Americans, from the fierce Sioux warriors to the Amazonian tribes, possessed type 0 blood, a unique trait that seemed to defy the laws of genetics and evolution. "Imagine," Kenzo said, his eyes shining with an intense inner light, "an entire continent, a mosaic of ancient cultures and traditions, united by an invisible red thread, type 0 blood. How to explain this anomaly? Is it perhaps a sign of destiny, a divine imprint, or the trace of a forgotten past, buried under the weight of centuries?" Kenzo, with the mastery of an ancient storyteller, began to weave a tapestry of stories and legends, intertwining science and spirituality, history, and mystery. He spoke of the hypothesis of genetic isolation, according to which Native Americans crossing the Bering Strait during the last ice age separated from the rest of humanity, thus developing a unique blood characteristic. But this theory, Kenzo observed, did not explain why other isolated populations, such as the Australian Aborigines, whose ancestors arrived on the ocean continent thousands of years earlier, did not present the same blood homogeneity. The monk then dwelt on the most daring and controversial theories, those that spoke of ancient contacts with extraterrestrial civilizations. The legends of the Native Americans, Kenzo explained, are full of tales of gods descended from the sky, luminous beings who brought to men the knowledge of fire, agriculture, medicine, and the arts. What if these gods were actually visitors from other worlds, who with their presence left an indelible mark on the DNA of the Native Americans? Kenzo, with a voice vibrant with emotion, described the enigmatic pyramids of Teotihuacan, perfectly aligned with the constellations, the Nazca lines, gigantic geoglyphs visible only from the sky, and the intricate rock carvings of Valcamonica, depicting anthropomorphic figures with large heads and almond-shaped eyes, similar to creatures from other planets. He showed the pilgrims images of elongated skulls found in Peru and Bolivia, evidence of a different human race, and mysterious metal artifacts, such as the Muisca genetic disc, impossible to make with the technologies of the time. What if, Kenzo continued, Type 0 blood was the key to a forgotten past, a bridge between our reality and a universe of possibilities yet unexplored. Perhaps our ancestors met beings from the stars, and their blood still carries the memory of that encounter. Kenzo paused for a moment, letting his words resonate in the minds of the pilgrims. Then, in a more intimate and confidential tone, he added, "But Buddhist wisdom, my dear disciples, teaches us not to fall into the trap of easy conclusions, not to cling to theories and conjectures. Truth is not an object to be possessed, but a path to be followed. Do not seek definitive answers, but cultivate curiosity, open-mindedness, and compassion. Truth reveals itself to those who are willing to embrace the mystery, to let go of certainties, and to open their hearts to the unknown." Kenzo told the story of a young monk who, obsessed with the search for enlightenment, went to a famous Zen master. "Master," the young man asked, "what is the secret of life?" The master, without saying a word, handed him a cup of water. The confused young man looked at it questioningly. The master, with an enigmatic smile, poured more water into the cup until it overflowed. "Do you understand?" asked the master. When the mind is filled with preconceptions and certainties, there is no room for new knowledge. In the same way, Kenzo continued, the mystery of Type 0 blood invites us to empty our minds, to free ourselves from prejudices and preconceived ideas, to welcome the truth in its entirety. Kenzo led the pilgrims in a silent meditation, inviting them to connect with their breath, to calm their minds, and to let their thoughts flow like clouds in the sky. Silence enveloped the group, broken only by the crackling of the fire burning in the brazier in the center of the courtyard and the nocturnal chirping of the crickets. As the stars shone in the sky like an infinity of benevolent eyes, the pilgrims felt part of an immense and mysterious universe, a fabric of energies and connections in which Type 0 blood was just a small thread, an enigma that invited them to explore the depths of knowledge and seek the truth beyond the boundaries of the visible. Kenzo, observing the rapt faces of his disciples, decided to delve further into the mystery, leading them through a labyrinth of knowledge and insights. Type 0 blood, the monk explained, is not only a scientific enigma, but also a symbol rich in spiritual meaning. Kenzo spoke of the concept of pure blood present in many ancient cultures, a blood that represented life force, connection to the divine, and the ability to heal. Perhaps, he suggested, the prevalence of Type 0 blood among Native Americans is a sign of their deep connection to nature, to the spirits of the earth and the sky. The monk told the story of Chaman, an elderly shaman of the Lakota tribe who had the power to communicate with the spirits of animals and to heal illnesses with herbs and sacred songs. Chaman said that Type 0 blood was a gift from the ancestors, a link with the Great Spirit that permeated everything. Type 0 blood, Chaman explained to Kenzo during one of their meetings, is like the water of a river that flows pure and uncontaminated, carrying with it the memory of creation. It is the blood of life, the blood of the earth, the blood of the sky. Kenzo, deeply moved by the shaman's words, began to study the ancient traditions of the Native Americans, discovering a world rich in symbols and meanings linked to blood. He learned that menstrual blood, considered sacred in many cultures, was used to fertilize the fields and propitiate the fertility of the earth. He discovered that warriors before a battle dyed their bodies with the blood of animals to acquire their strength and courage, and he understood that blood, in all its manifestations, was considered a sacred element, a bridge between the visible and invisible worlds. The mystery of Type 0 blood, Kenzo continued, addressing the pilgrims, invites us to look beyond the surface, to seek the truth not only in books and laboratories, but also in ancient traditions, myths, and legends that have been passed down from generation to generation. Kenzo spoke of the myth of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, a deity venerated by many Mesoamerican cultures. Quetzalcoatl, according to legend, was a divine being from Venus who brought to men the knowledge of writing, agriculture, and the arts. Some scholars hypothesize that Quetzalcoatl was actually an extraterrestrial, a being from another planet who with his presence profoundly influenced the development of pre-Columbian civilizations. What if, Kenzo suggested, Type 0 blood was a gift from Quetzalcoatl, a sign of his benevolence toward humanity? The monk invited the pilgrims to reflect on the words of an ancient Zen proverb: "When you point to the moon, the fool looks at the finger." Do not stop at appearances, he urged them, but seek the truth beyond the boundaries of the visible. The mystery of Type 0 blood is like a cone, a riddle that can awaken your mind and lead you to enlightenment. The night was coming, and the fire in the brazier was beginning to die down, leaving only glowing embers that illuminated the faces of the pilgrims. Kenzo, with a serene gesture, concluded his speech. May peace be with you, seekers of truth. May the mystery of the 0 blood accompany you on your path, guiding you towards wisdom and compassion. The pilgrims, enveloped in the silence of the night and the magic of the place, felt transformed by the encounter with the Master Kenzo. The mystery of the blood type 0 remained unsolved, but they had understood that true knowledge does not lie in the answers, but in the relentless search for truth, a journey that leads to the discovery of oneself and one's place in the universe.